How far would you go to seek love from someone else and from this world? There are some kind of lessons that people take long enough to realize, and sometimes they don't get it in a single incarnation, and they have to keep living again and again just to get the lesson. And it's kind of frustrating because it's only a lesson, and no matter how many people tend to speak about and talk and show up their frustrations and where the road lead you to, people don't seem to learn and don't seem to get the message. And it simply goes like this: if you try to show up your body or to expose the form, you will never ever attract someone that will be the best option for you. And I don't care what your opinion is about this matter. It's simply a fact. Just accept it. And if you don't accept it, whatever. It's your life. Go live it. Go frustrate yourself, and it's your choice. But people, they dress up and they show up and they try to present their best selves, and that is okay. But sometimes they exaggerate a little bit, just not to mention too much. But they tend to show up and kind of offer their bodies because that's what's left for them to show. Because they are so desperately, insanely, this kind of famine that they feel. They are so thirsty for love that everyone else is showing up their bodies, so they're gonna show up their bodies too. And the problem with this is when you take someone or something, in this case, from your intimacy, something that is reserved to an intimate connection, and you jump or skip steps and show up to the world before all the steps required and all the progression and the character development phase and so on, and you simply jump all these steps and you present your body like it's an offering. And guess what? It is an offering. And guess to whom? That's the point. But deep down, people are not looking for the pleasure. People are looking for love. And this love is so scarce, is so rare nowadays in today's world, that people will go to absolutely insane lengths just to prove their point. And the point is, they will do everything at their disposal just to feel this love. And it's mind-boggling because they never actually feel loved when they have relationships with people in this matter. They never actually feel truly loved. What they only feel is used. And this is the point. And they never accept the fact that they are only being used. And sometimes they even say to themselves, oh, okay, I know I'm being used, but I don't care. I'm using them too. And this never will fulfill your heart's desire. Never. But people tend to fool themselves or try to convince themselves that it's okay. It's okay to, to live a life of endless lust and endless thirst for something that you will never get. It's like trying to fulfill your thirst by drinking seawater. It will never happen. Never. But people insist on that, and it's kind of pathetic and sad at the same time. Why the heck people do that? Because they don't know anything else. And also because they are too afraid to go outside that accommodation zone. They are too afraid to risk this intimacy. It's it's better for them. It's less of a strain to them if they expose their body but preserve their hearts, instead of exposing their hearts and preserving their body. They can live up, they think, they can live up with the fact that they can, turn their bodies into merchandise, and they can, commoditize their bodies and get away with it clean-handed. Not gonna happen. Because when people used to do that, it creates a scarring in your soul that is not easily removed. And guess what happens? You reincarnate. It's okay if you don't believe that. Okay. Not trying to push my thoughts inside your head. I'm not like propaganda. Okay? So, then people reincarnate and they have to, quote unquote, pay their karmic debts. And some people, they actually think that this doesn't exist at all. And it's bogus, it's nothing. And they keep leading their lives like it's just a game. Okay, go ahead and try to live, and eventually your soul will demand that you learn these kinds of lessons that you forfeited up to until now. And it's kind of sad that people, they overlook it and they postpone it indefinitely, and then they complain. That's the kind of infuriating part. They complain, but they don't get, and they don't get the necessary stuff to do, and they don't do what is required to do. It's like someone who complains that they are overweight and they don't move at all. They just complain. The world is unjust and life sucks, and on and on. But they don't do anything to change the situation. It's a kind of hijacking, emotional hijacking, that is inevitable when you live a life of lies. And it always boils down to truth versus lies. And check this out. Truth is singular. Lies are plural. And guess what happens when you live a life based on lies? You live a life of multitudes. You live a life of non-unity status. And when you stop to think about it, sometimes it's advantageous to have finity or finiteness and quantities. Okay. But on the other hand, as much as the quality of being finite can be advantageous, it also begets suffering. It also begets pain, because it implies that at some point your vehicle will expire and cessate its functions. And with that, all the interrelations that you have with another vehicle. But the point is not the vehicle. That is just an illusion. The point is the creator that flows throughout the vehicle. But people don't realize that, because they are too deep, bogged down in the web of lies, that if they accept the possibility that it's just an illusion, it frightens them so much that it's too overwhelming to even consider that. So, point short or whatever, to summarize it, don't expose your body at the expense of withholding your heart. Don't overexpose your vehicle at the expense of hiding your heart. Do the opposite. Expose your heart at the expense of hiding your body. And then you will begin to witness the birth, not only of true empathy, as people say, but of true meaning of life, the true meaning of living, that is part of being related to a significant other, in spite of every hardship that may come, which is part of life as well, especially this world. But not only that, but the feeling of pleasure of overcoming these challenges together. And it would be nice if people lived and experienced that a little more, instead of just, using not too much clothes, on the contrary, and trying to appeal too hard to someone else just to get their attention. Because what they seek is not the attention, but what lies underneath it, which is the Creator manifested in everyone and everything. But that is a topic for another video.